Wow, it's beautiful, sunny out there today. Hello, nice to be with you. I'm sitting here at my favorite McDonald's having my favorite coffee. I love their holiday themed or whatever artistic themed cups they use them for the holiday times because they're so pretty and cheerful. I'm like, oh, I've been keeping every cup. I just like them. The design is cool. How are you today? I hope you're doing good. Gosh, I like that bright sun back there. It's like a starlight, star bright. Cute, 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 cute. Yeah, the sun feels so good, so nice. The sun does feel so nice out here right now. Special.
What are your earrings? Oh, there's. I couldn't see your earrings. How cute.
Thank you. These little glass flowers.
Yeah, it's cute.
Thank you. I like this McDonald's. Everyone's so cheerful. And they come in, families and retired people, and having their coffee and hanging out like I do. Hope your day is wonderful. And I hope that today will be a wonderful day. I just bought a white purse. It's so cute for my daughter for the holiday. And her birthday is 3 days after the Christmas holiday. You know, so sometimes it's like, whoa, we forgot about Rihanna. And the funny thing is, her husband's birthday is the same month as her, December 7th, and she's December 28th. I got married April 8th, the day after I turned 18, because my mom told me about life. What I should do is get married and have some children. Basically, what I was told. So that's what I did. So glad I did have my two daughters. They're the best. They're wonderful. Like I talked before, my other daughter, she's only 3 years younger than the first one, but she lives in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And she has a 2.5-year-old boy. His name is River, but she calls him Bubba. I'm trying to save up enough money to get there on the bus so I can see him before he turns 3. Hang out with him. I had started to drive my car there like in 2020 in the summer. I just took off because I was already living in my car, and I thought, well, I'm just going to go there. I was parking out front of my sister's place, and, you know, her husband, her boyfriend, you know, they got their own life. And anyway, I wanted to be with my daughter. I wanted to be with my grandson. So I was in my car, and I started driving to Philadelphia. I got to Bend, Oregon, and I pulled into a rest stop. My car broke down. Wouldn't you know it? But by the grace of God, it was at the rest stop that it did break down. And some people tried to help me, but no one could get it restarted. We found out the head valve or something. You know, it was that car had I had already done a lot of work to it when I went to Albuquerque, New Mexico. I had to put new struts in. I put it on my credit card. It was like $1,000 for the job to be done. It was more money put in, and I had the Department of Transportation, ODOT. They came and what'd they do? How did I get my car out there? I can't even remember. Oh, you think he towed it? Towed it to a mechanic shop in Bend called Dane's. So I was sitting there, and some dude pulled up. Well, he was liking me. He was liking me. Want to be my friend. I really didn't have much choice. I drove back to Bend with him in his car, and I stayed where he was staying that night and the next day too. But the day after that, I left because he was wanting to do the wild thing, and I didn't know him, so I didn't want to do that. Well, you know what I mean. I like to get to know someone and make sure we're good friends, you know. I'm an old-fashioned girl. So I left, and I was walking around town, and it was a sunny day. It was a warm day, too, so I was okay. I slept behind this. I didn't have my vehicle. It was in that mechanic shop. You know, finally I ended up having to sell it. I sold it to a junkyard for $75 because even Dave, the guy that was saying to help me, he said he could fix it, but he said it wouldn't pay to fix it. It's too far gone, and I already put a lot of money into it, so I sold it. And well, if I wouldn't have, then the mechanic shop, they would have charged me for storage, you know. So everybody's got to get their cut, right? So I had to go around and get rid of things that I had in my car. I couldn't carry it with me on my body. So I would leave my possessions here and there on empty houses, porches, or in their yard. I'd just leave stuff wherever it was, wherever I could find a place where I wouldn't look so conspicuous, dropping things off. They were nice things. Somebody else would find them and keep them and have them, so that was good for them. It wasn't so hot for me. But for some reason, I guess, well, the Lord was with me because I stayed in a good mood. It was warm. I got a shopping cart, put my stuff in there. It had a bag full of some clothes. And I bought me a sleeping bag and put it in a big bag. I pushed it in this shopping cart, and I was able to rent a motel room one night and then 2 nights. But the first night, I slept behind this big old truck that was parked where no one could see me, and it wasn't cold, and no one bothered me. Then I got that motel room, and I met a dude. He wanted to hang out with me, and then he said, "Can I kiss you?" And I was like, I didn't think so. I was thinking to myself, no. Well, I got away from him. Poor little Red Riding Hood getting these evil men. Anyway, he was half drunk. That wasn't fun. So I went into the travel center, and I ended up finding out, well, where do you get a bus ticket? You know, and I ended up getting a Greyhound bus ticket all the way to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So that worked out really good for me. But I remember we stopped over in this town, and they said, well, when you get to that town, then you pay for your ticket. It was another strange town out in nowhere, in the middle of nowhere, where there was like a desert with just one store. And then I had money in my bank, but for some reason, it just barely covered it, and all of a sudden it almost didn't cover it, and something went wrong for a second. I thought, I'm going to be stranded in this horrible town in the middle of nowhere. I sat on the sidewalk after I screamed at the top of my lungs. I thought, oh my God, I'm stuck here. Everyone heard me. And I went back in, and then I tried it. it just, I don't know, it worked. I got my paper, my ticket, and they said, you have to hang on to that ticket because every time you get a layover, you got to show it to the bus driver. Make sure you have it on the right page because they're not sitting around waiting for you to fumble around and find your paperwork. They'll be like, this ain't working. Get your paperwork out, get on the bus, and let's hit it. So it was all right. Everything turned out okay. It was okay. It wasn't too scary. In fact, I got a little sassy even, so guess it wasn't that scary. That was the time we had to put masks on too. Every time we didn't have to put them on when we were sitting in our seats, thank God. But every time we laid over and I went to a little store or something, got some coffee or a little snack, I had to have my mask on. And then they had up signs, bring correct change. Everything was difficult, but I made it to town. I got off that bus in the bus Greyhound terminal in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It was hot summertime still. I hung around, I walked around, I took pictures. And as soon as I was walking around Old Town, I found some cool eyeglasses that had a frame around it. It was like plaid frame, really cute. And I found a box of cookies. And I smelled them and looked at them. They hadn't been eaten or touched. There was nothing wrong with them, and so I ate them. Anyway, it turned out okay. But my oldest daughter, she was always concerned, what's going to happen to Mom? She rented a week of hostel, they call it. Those things are not cheap. So I was able to bathe and shower, but the day that the first night in Philadelphia, I slept in it was a car lot. People parked their cars, but there was pretty green grass in a brick building in front of the Black History Museum. It wasn't very big either. I was thinking, why isn't this museum bigger? But it wasn't. There was homeless people around there that lived. They just live on the sidewalk. I want to take a picture of something, and I took the picture, and this lady was sitting there. She goes, "Did you take my picture?" I was like, "No, I didn't. It was this building I wanted to get a picture of." So she, calmed. She left me alone. Then I met this dude, older man. He was, I don't know, I met a couple of sketchy characters. And I'm babbling. A lot of experiences. Everyone does. Mine are interesting, though. Yeah, they are. Things I just totally forgot. I suppose we all have that. Isn't that sun neat? Right behind my white face like that. Thank you for listening, everyone. Hope your day is wonderful. This is the Mad Funky Filmmaker. And they were bringing them back because they were in the emergency room.